Okay, but there was a lot of back.
Oh, yeah, it's working.
Okay, okay, good.
All right, guys, it is 6:30. I'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First up, we have our meeting minutes from last month. Any
Make a
questions?
motion to approve last month's meeting minutes.
All right, I'll second. All in favor? Aye. All right,
Sorry, who seconded this?
I did. Yeah. All right, next up, we'll do a public comment. So, if anyone has anything to say, just raise your hand and we'll go. You got 3 minutes, just stand up, tell us your name and where you live and what you have to talk about. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Tarnisha Bennett. I live in Second Harbor. First, I want to say good evening to the board, faculty and families, community members this year. I come before you tonight as a mother of 2 boys, one of whom, Malik, sitting right here, attended Second Harbor Central School until April 17th of this year. I am here to speak not just as his mother, but as his advocate and as a concerned member of this community. Malik is a respectful, gifted, and determined student athlete. He's played sports since he was 5 years old: basketball, soccer, lacrosse, track and field, and swimming. He came to Second Harbor with excitement for new opportunities. Instead, he was met with persistent mistreatment, bullying, racial slurs, and degrading treatment, not just from another student, but from coaches and adults who were supposed to protect and uplift him. Despite multiple reports and evidence submitted to administration through a DASA complaint, the response was dismissive and ineffective. Malik's voice was ignored. Our concerns were minimized. And rather than see accountability or support, my son was left isolated, injured, and unsafe. Let me be clear. No child should be subjected to racial harassment. No parent should have to choose between protecting their child and sending them to school. And no family should have to fight this hard just to be heard. This situation has caused harm to Malik, to our family, and to the trust we had in this school district. As a parent, I was left with no choice but to withdraw my child for his own mental and emotional well-being. And I know we're not the only family in this community who has experienced this kind of pain in silence. I withdrew Malik from Second Harbor not because I gave up, but because the environment became too harmful for him to stay. I am here tonight, not just for him, but for every student who has felt invisible, every parent who has been dismissed, and every child who deserves better. I respectfully call on this board to take concrete action, conduct an independent review of how this case and others like it have been handled by the district. Reassess and strengthen DASA training for staff, administrators, and coaches. Create a public accountability report on bias-related complaints within the school. And most importantly, establish a community forum where families can speak freely, be heard, and help shape real solutions, so no students is ever treated this way again. Just as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has taught us, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. Not speaking up out against injustice allows it to continue. This must end now. Healing cannot begin without accountability. Change cannot happen without courage. My son deserves better. And all our children deserve a school where they are safe, supported, and treated with dignity. Thank you for your time. If you need further information or clarification on anything I have said tonight, feel free to contact me via email.
Thank you. Do you have the email for the village office? Could you send a copy of that to us?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just so you're aware, our board does not directly oversee the school district, but I have regular meetings with the town supervisor and the school superintendent and I'll definitely follow up and get back to you with, yeah. Sorry about that. That's. All right, anyone else in the room for public comment? Anybody on Zoom? I can't see if we have anyone, but, okay. Seeing that, we'll close public comment and move on to the treasurer's.
You had one more.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to go ahead and take 3 minutes if I could.
Yeah, absolutely.
My name is Michael Denny, live at 105. I'm also the Director of Marketing for the Chamber of Commerce. I've submitted through the office an alcohol permit. I'll give you the quick 5 Ws. And if later, if any of the trustees have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer those. An Oktoberfest on September 27th from 2 to 8. So we, the chamber, are using this event to try and move forward in future years into a Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane, Washington Irving themed event. And so we as the chamber would like to start laying those tracks so that next year we're better. And I'm making this public comment because I know individuals like you are going to be involved, individuals like the police department. So we've gone through all of the wickets. It's myself, Carol Payne, Paul Boucher, and Margaret Coe. So we have 4 individuals who are very hardworking. Cheryl has done several of these in the past. We feel very comfortable that we've planned this far out enough to deal with anything, but not far out enough to do something Sleepy Hollow specific. That is our goal over the horizon. We just think that might take a little bit too much research and design. And there are other individuals and entities like the Historical Society who I'm sure would want to be involved in something like that. So to put together an Oktoberfest, which we think is a pretty solid success, we just want to get that under the bridge, get a good W under our belt, and next year move forward with a Ichabod Crane, Sleepy Hollow type thing. So
What was the date on that, Mike?
September 29th.
And did you fill out an event application already? And is it in our packet tonight?
No, I was
Okay.
turned in today.
Okay.
And it'll be, my understanding, correct?
It'll be the next month.
It'll be emailed to you for review, but I just wanted to take my public comment time, just to make you aware, September 29th, 2 to 8, family friendly. We chose those hours specifically.
Great.
That and a quick summary was included with that permit.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let me double check. Is there anyone else I missed that wants to do public comment before we move on? No one on Zoom, Peg?
I do not show anyone on Zoom, but then just let me know that John is trying to get in and he's not.
It's not showing up. Okay. Well, it's being recorded, so we'll at least have it posted, but I don't think we have the bandwidth to debug it at this point. So. Okay. You guys okay with moving on without trying to sort out the Zoom situation? All right, we'll move on to the treasurer's report. We got to look at the bills. I didn't have any questions. Did any of you guys see anything?
The only thing I said, you said there was an requisition in there for the fire department check, but I didn't see it.
It was in there.
Was it? Okay.
Okay, I didn't have a check.
All right, I must have missed
It
it.
was
I'm
like-
sorry.
Well, there's like 6 or 7 at the end that were,
Oh, okay.
There's quite a few.
With the Post-its on it.
Site.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That was my only question.
right?
Oh, he says he's in the waiting room.
Yeah, hey, can you see the waiting room?
There's only 2 participants and one is the room.
Give me one quick second. Just.
He says he's in the waiting room.
We're always willing to help out in any street. I look.
Yeah, it's kind of a good thing.
I think it's written on.
So I'll invite you personally to our next working group meeting. We're meeting every 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's right. It's far out so that we can let people, know, hey, here's the morning.
Yeah.
That we're going to be there.
Read my email too.
Got it. All right. All right. I don't know if, it looks like all the people just got admitted on Zoom. So I'm going to just reopen public comment in case any of them have anything to add. Sorry about that, guys. We had you stuck in limbo.
Is John on there now?
Can you give a wave if you hear me? Yeah,
All right,
great.
perfect.
Okay, thanks very much. All right, doesn't look like anybody's chiming in. If you're trying to do public comment, you're muted. Otherwise, you can wait till the one at the end of the meeting. Yeah,
Like, okay.
great. All right.
Uh.
So back to the treasurer's report. Any questions on the bills besides, okay?
And then I just want to mention on the budget transfers, I'm still busy with that.
Okay.
As of the end of the fiscal year. The only thing that needs to be added in there is the stipends for the DPW, two guys for the Teamsters contract.
Okay.
So, but I will, just transfer that from contingent and just like a separate line item. for that.
Great.
Okay.
And then we just need to approve the water and the sewer rate that was adopted at the February 2025 meeting.
Yep,
So that's effective now from the 1st of June.
yep.
That's all from my
Well,
side.
You do need-
We gotta vote on the bills, yeah. So I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I'll abstain.
Budget transfers we don't need, and do we have the water rates here? Yeah, we do. Great. So this is including the swap, right, between the 125 and the 100? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the water and sewer rates. Second.
all in favor? Aye. Anything else for Belinda, guys? Belinda, you have anything else for us? All right.
Okay.
Move on to Lynn with the DPW.
I actually put in a report this month. You have it there, I hope. There's a couple things I would like to add to this. It's actually happening right now. On the corner of Edmund Street and Ambrose Street, there's a stop sign and cars keep parking close to that stop sign. Actually in the road and on the grass, both. Considering it to be a safety issue, they're supposed to be 30 feet away from the stop sign and kind of off the road. Kind of asking for your permission to put a no parking sign there.
Where is it? The corner of Edmund and where?
Ambrose,
Where are they, are they headed out or in this?
we're the townhouse side of Edmond.
Okay. And they're parking like right up against the stop sign on the right? Okay.
There's a car right there right now,
Oh, nice.
actually.
Right.
Which reminded me of, I needed it to.
Okay. And
Actually,
you're just gonna, you're thinking painting the same yellow grid fins?
well, no, actually, I want to put a sign there.
Yeah.
Put a sign.
That's fine.
Mhm.
Great.
And also, the second thing is, it's come to my attention as of late that my two guys are getting stipends for water license. I also have a water license. Just wondering if I would be accepted as having that stipend also.
It was negotiated as part of their Teamster contract.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Other than that, any questions?
Did you, for the water supply, I didn't ask you when you told me, is it plumbed like down there? Or do you have a tank? How's it?
There's the trough itself, it's kind of small. It was just to get it going.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a bigger one this time.
Cool.
It's just too small.
I haven't been down there to check it out yet,
Yeah,
but
but I think it's working well. You know, I see
Yeah.
dogs using it, so.
awesome. So,
It looks like the one-way situation on Ambrose looks like it's going better.
I think it's going great. I just
Okay.
came up through there just
I haven't noticed any issues after that first.
on my
weekend.
20 minutes ago, walking down, and I had a truck come behind me.
Oh, here I was gonna give kudos and it's been going so well.
This is this alley here.
Oh.
And I was laughing because I tried to like wave to him to be like, hey, it's a one-way. And he just didn't look at me. And then Jen Damon was hollering at him out her garage. So I was like, well, hopefully he gets the picture.
disrespect of signage.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I'm glad to see that it's going better. I think that first weekend we didn't have the road signs painted and stuff. Yeah.
Bumps and bruises with it.
No, it's good.
Yeah, on my way here, something must be going on downtown because there's a lot
There's a
more
wedding,
traffic for a
actually.
Tuesday
There's a wedding
than
tonight.
normal, but the no parking zone in front of the art center. There's a car parked right on top of it.
We have to get Gleason on that though, if he's in,
I-
like, we have to start doing
We
tickets.
talked about,
John under the bus, but he does have to patrol that.
I know.
Well, part of it is too, we could just text him because he's not gonna see it every time. But if you see
Right,
somebody, just
but
go,
we-
hey, there's one now.
We at
so
one
if he's
point
nearby.
had talked about some type of physical barrier in addition to.
We've gone back and forth on this because I think Lynn's right. Somebody will clobber the bike rack and we'll be in the business of repairing dented bike racks if we put a bike rack there.
What if we put a huge flower pot there though?
I mean, people are gonna hit it.
I think they're gonna hit it. I don't know if
We
that's.
could test it out with one or two.
And we can
spots.
bill them to replace it and then it's not our fault.
They're not gonna wait.
Oh, but I mean, I'm like, if you hit a flower pot that's in the road.
If we don't have the sight lines, then it's all for naught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Bottom line.
You wanna maybe just put one planter up in one and see how long it takes to get hit and then decide.
I don't know if that's the answer, but I don't know what else to try.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, we need, I feel like if we just started ticketing people, but we don't always have someone in the village to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's the unfortunate part.
I think this, that kind of traffic right now is a reflection of what we're gonna experience
In
in
the
a couple
summer.
weeks when
Yeah.
school's out.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
I
right.
do have one more thing, by the way. Sorry. Ingrid, don't know her last name,
Cleveland.
did a great job putting on Music Fest down there. I was kind of taken back that no board members came down there to listen to music.
Gotta text us an invite. Welcome back.
I was down there and I enjoyed the music quite, thoroughly.
Yeah.
She did a fantastic job. But along with that, on the water side of the gazebo, I had a couple planters that I hadn't planted yet because we had to take them away from the visitor center. And a couple ladies from the village came down and asked me if they could plant flowers. So I put them down front and they planted flowers there and they are absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
Take a trip down there and take a look.
When
at
we-
it.
we were coming into the harbor on the boat the other night, coming in towards the bandstand and they had been planted. It's just so picturesque.
It's-
That view.
It's fantastic. When I was
Yeah.
watching the band, there's a prom going down there and they were taking pictures around it. It was just beautiful. It was just absolutely beautiful. There was a lot of boats using our dockage down there too, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
I love people coming to our village.
You're gonna spell Saget Harbor with flowers across there somewhere?
But I had that thought.
SH?
Harbor and change the date every day,
Oh, just like up at
There you go.
oh, good luck with that.
Okay,
Would that work for you?
that worked.
Very ambitious.
That's next year though.
Before we move on, we do need to vote on the parking sign at the.
Do we need votes for no parking signs in areas that are already supposed to be no parking? Okay, I'll make a motion to authorize a no parking sign at that corner.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Bye.
Thank you.
Before we move on though, real quick, instead of like a bike rack or a giant, beautiful potted plant that could be,
Broken.
yes,
Yeah.
if needed to be replaced, if you did like removable bollards where we could take them out for winter time, but in the summer.
That's quite a,
Do we know what those cost down at Market Square Park?
you have to drill a hole into the road.
They're probably like $1,500 a piece.
That's a lot of bike racks.
Also a lot of plant pots.
Bike
They're
strips,
probably-
I didn't wanna go
Pot
there.
That big is expensive. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be that much money. I don't know.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I like it. It would really stop them from doing it because they can't drive through it.
That's true.
Two sides of everything.
I mean, the like standard now is a bump out. So you actually have the curbs curl in and have it be grass, but those again are very expensive. So maybe we'll see if we can find like something cheap and
Yeah, brainstorm, and if there's something that everybody comes up with and agrees on, I'm more than willing to try it, not to,
Yeah, and I think it's the corner I was talking about and a corner opposite that coming off General Smith Drive, the two coming up Main Street,
Yeah.
they don't seem to be an issue. It's going down
I agree.
that
I see that.
for whatever reason, I don't know.
All right, any other questions for Lynn, guys? All right. John, did you make it on Zoom there? Oh, Super Cop 39 is with us. That's great.
Right, you like that? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Yeah, I had already talked to Lynn about the no parking sign, and told him I thought that was a good idea by the stop sign, just to get the panic across. And he said he was gonna bring it up to you. I have our village car headed over there now to see if the car's still there and check the one on West Main Street. I attached my report to the drive. We helped out with, all the events that were listed on there, the Memorial Day event, the rally, patrolled by the bandstand, and the 18th marathon. All of that went off without a hitch as far as I'm aware.
You want me to ask him now? I was just gonna ask.
Yeah, sure.
All right. John, I did have a question for you. We have a resident in the village who has posted my photograph, a photo of my home and my address as a way to intimidate me on their Facebook page. Is there anything I can do legally to stop that?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I will take a look at the post. Can you send that to me, or I can
Sure
meet up
will.
with you afterwards? And
Yep.
then we'll see exactly what's on there. And
He put a picture of my house, my address, and a picture of me trying to get people to show up at my
Okay.
house.
okay. Yeah, I will definitely take a look at that and see exactly what he's got, and see what the post says, and
I don't
I
know
can
what
do
the
it
law
for you.
is. I know I'm a public figure, but that kind of crosses a line in my view.
Right, yeah, I
right.
know it happens a lot to us as well. But yeah, I will take a look at that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions for John, guys? Thanks, John.
Yep.
All right, fire department, you're gonna push to your,
Yeah, we can push that to mine.
all right, heritage area.
Yeah, you
Dave,
should have my report, Pickering Beach Museum's getting ready to open. Everything else is pretty.
great. Sounds good. Next up will be Kathy at the Visitor Center. How's the porch?
We're just still not in great shape. I think we kind of moved everything around it, so it's ready to construction start. Reached out to our contractor. He did get back to me today. He is running 2 to 3 weeks behind on his current project over at the corner of Military Road and Hounsfield Street. So he will not be with us for another 2 to 3 weeks. But we are the next one in line.
We considered bribing that homeowner to let us choose from.
Is the porch still accessible from people?
So we blocked it off thinking that it was going to, the construction was going to start imminently. We can open it back up.
I was just curious. I just
Did he say how long it would take once he started?
Okay.
That's why we should maybe just leave it.
Yeah.
Right.
What was the duration of the job once he starts?
I think it's just a couple weeks.
Okay, so it'll be not done by the 4th then.
That's what I'm worried about.
I would say if it's gonna be that long and it's safe for people to be up there, then you can unblock it, but obviously if it's not safe, then.
I would defer
leave
to
it blocked.
Lynn. I don't, is it?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
for now.
I just wanted to-
All right.
I just would hate to
I
not.
mean, if it was, if they were gonna be finishing by the end of June, or I'd say don't worry about it, but no sense in blocking it off for a month.
Yeah, we just had a lot of weight on it recently, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Until now, so hopefully it'll last a couple more weeks for us.
All right.
I don't think we'll have that big a group there before the Christmas event. Well,
Yeah, we'll block it back off and they're ready to start. We had 3 tour groups come through in May. We've got 2 more this month. We already had one of them, the next one's later on this week. We actually are up on tour groups this year over last year so far. We have fully switched to our Square payment system, which means we are finally rid of the old credit card machine. No more high fees, all that's over. Unsurprisingly, they don't care about getting our equipment back since it's ancient. So we just start laughing it.
put it in the Pickering Beach Museum.
They move back again.
Don't plug it in, yeah. I just meant as an exhibit.
Exhibit?
Yeah.
Yeah, my report was in the drive. I'm not sure if you were able to get it. The only other thing I thought of note was the hometown hero banners are up. We're getting a lot of comments on them. Compliments, I should say. And we've also already got people applying for next year, so.
Nice. Did Watertown ever get back to you on that or?
No, I never heard anything.
Oh, okay.
Black River, they get, it's cut for PvP and they are. Just a run of 6
Nice.
banners, so yeah.
Cool.
If you're ever through Black River, they use the same vendor. so
Nice.
they look similar. And then the only other thing I was just gonna mention was our visitor guides are out in the community. We've distributed about 6,000 of them so far, and we'll be distributing more as we go.
Yeah, we'll need more soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let us know. We'll bring the.
Cool. Any questions for Kathy, guys? All right. Next up, we have the planning board. Yeah, hey.
So I think you have your report, I'm sure. And just before the meeting, I sent you an email, just a follow-up discussion on planning board action last month, and that will continue this month on some sign regulations. And what's not on the report is that in the last couple of weeks, Stacy Perkins let me know he can no longer continue to serve on the board. And Craig Parker is an alternate, and he has been filling in and I think doing a good job comfortably so. And so it's of course up to you who you want to point to fill Stacy's position, and the alternate should you think Craig is the appropriate person to go into the alternate slot. And last month I did have a little sense that maybe Stacy was not going to continue. So I chatted with Craig about it. I said, would you have the time and interest? The board was receptive to that, and he indicated he would.
Great.
So, and I would encourage an appointment soon, because in the summertime, people have other plans and we want to be as responsive to applicants and have a quorum and that sort of thing.
That's good. And Jenna, I did mention to Kelly and these guys, I didn't yet, but that I'd catch them up about our meeting yesterday and try and make sure we get on the same page.
Since I
Yep.
prepared my list for you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Any other questions for Janet, guys? All right. On to BCA.
Great, good evening. Market Square Park ready projects, phase 1 and phase 2 are complete. Lawman was their last month, so they're completely closed out. Still kind of working through some FEMA items and some ready coordination and LWRP coordination. Brown Shores Pump Station, that's more or less complete. I know Lynn's working with the town to get some work done within the in the ditches to kind of clear that out. Water intake, so last week undove the intake. They did notice some damage at the end of the intake, the very end. So if there's like a copper, it's a type of copper intake, and we're not really sure what happened. We're investigating it, but it looks like something hit it. I don't know if it was done during installation, but we do have post-installation video that shows it was fine.
Sure.
So we're just kind of reviewing with the manufacturer to see what could have potentially happened, but there's an lifting ear that's completely bent over. So we think something hit it, but we're still investigating that. And
It's like 25 feet down, right?
it's like 20 feet in. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, so that's what.
we're not sure.
Can the frazzle ice get that far down and in that amount to bend?
Well, we thought it was that, but I don't think it wouldn't bend an ear.
Right.
It's still functioning as it's supposed to, so there's no restrictions, but we're just kind of investigating what could have
Yeah.
happened and seeing what the possibilities are and what to prevent possibly it from happening again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like a buoy or, a safety something or other, but we're investigating that.
Could be an anchor.
No, it could be. It's kind of mysterious to me, but.
Like Ontario Sea Monster then.
Yeah. And so Water wastewater upgrades, no new updates, I study, nothing, and then we haven't heard anything on it.
Great. Questions for Brandon? All right, thanks, man. Hey, you're up.
I don't have a lot to report from the office. We're getting buried. Um, We still don't have the water billing, done or capability. I have been working with Census, and their determination is that the information coming out of the new billing system is incorrect. So we're waiting to do a coordinated troubleshooting with. So that will happen this week. Hopefully at the end of the week, we can do it.
I have a question. I've had a few residents come to me because they're getting estimated bills. I guess my question is, how does that affect our water budget in the long term? And what is us not having our billing system working since January? It's going to be July, so 7 months. What happens when it catches up? Is the resident going to get all of that back bill because we're estimating an amount? I feel like that's really not fair to the resident to do that.
We're billing the flat rate. So that is 125 or 100.
Okay.
And so that is for the first 6,000 gallons. Go over the,
Is our plan to go back and bill them for the difference, or they're just paying the flat rate until we get it fixed?
until we get it fixed. Hopefully it will be this billing that will be correct.
Okay. So do we have an idea of how much money we're losing?
For the billing, it's for 6,000 gallons. And over 6,000 gallons, it's $3 per 1,000 gallons of water. So it's not that significant if you know, you usually would get a slightly larger than the 145, then you will get a slightly larger bill, but
But I'm hearing you say that we're not going to go back and bill them for anything that was missed between January and now. They're only going to be paying because they have lots of questions. They're uncertain about, because they are getting the flat rate. They're like, are we going to go back to January once it's working and we're going to catch them all up for the last 7 months? Or are they just going to pay the flat rate until we get it fixed? Because people are on a fixed budget and they've got plans, and they want to know, and I don't have an answer to give them because I didn't realize that's what we were doing. I don't know if we were ever told that we were.
I think that might have to be a longer discussion between us, what we want to do. I personally think I would be for billing back, but if people need time and giving them giving them 2 quarters to catch up.
I feel like it's not fair of us to do that. We didn't tell them ahead of time that we were doing it.
Well, it's no net difference, right? So
But if someone is on a budget and they're budgeting quarterly, and then we hit them with a $600 bill that they weren't planning on, and we didn't tell them back in January that we were gonna do it, I don't feel like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's not I don't think there's an obvious yes or no.
Okay.
for me,
Well, I
at
just
least.
I thought it was an easier, yes, we're gonna do it, or no, we're not.
Maybe if everyone agrees with you, then.
I don't know.
But I think it might be worth a discussion because I don't also know the number. So let me dig in a little bit because I do have old billing data and I can look up.
Maybe it's not a lot of money. They're questioning and they're like a little like, what's gonna happen when it's working?
I mean, this is a generalization that may not be entirely accurate, but I recall looking at the data when we were talking about changing the min to a lower number. And I think it was only like 20% of people were going over it. And the recommendation from any like water authority documentation I could find suggested you should have 20% of people under the min. Because if the min's really, really high, then no one has any incentive to save water because you're like, well, I'm never going to hit the bill. So who cares about a gallon here, a gallon there? It's only the top 20% of water users who are watering their lawn and filling their pool. They're not the most cost sensitive people. And I think it'll be
I just think it would,
$50,
if I'm gonna get hit with a bill, I kind of feel like it would be fair for me to know ahead of time than for me to find out after the fact.
You don't think it's gonna happen, or where it's gonna.
That was my question, if it's gonna happen.
Businesses.
Okay.
Businesses are gonna take the hit, they're the regular users
Right,
over the minimum.
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah, the restaurants.
The
Yeah.
typical residents are gonna be, it's gonna be minimal.
that's why I didn't know if it was gonna impact them, if the flat rate was gonna cover it anyways.
It's $3 per 1,000 gallons of water.
Okay, I don't know what their normal or
Yeah.
usage is, but they're obviously questioning me and I'm like, I don't have an answer for you. And I didn't know we were doing it. I didn't realize, I didn't know
Yeah.
that we were only charging a flat rate. So I felt a little embarrassed that I didn't have the answer to the question. And I also didn't know what was happening and I didn't know what to tell them. So. Okay,
I've got a note for water billing on my to-do, so.
Okay.
We'll follow up about it. All right, anything else, Peggy?
Nothing.
All right, any questions for the office? Beautiful. Moving on to community organizations.
First, throw aside the concerts, are all ready.
My neighbor thought that Live at the Bandstand was your first concert.
Pardon me?
My neighbor, Joe Fusco, he brought his mom down Sunday to listen to Live at the Bandstand because he's like, it's always on Sundays. And then we got there, he was like, we did hear music yesterday. Fire, and he was like, it's the same band. And I was like, it's understandable. So I know you'll have at least a few people coming down, but, great. All right. Any questions for the Historical Society, guys? I think you got a check coming.
Yes,
And
yeah,
this-
thank you.
yeah.
Thanks for the.
Any other community organization reps here or on Zoom? All right. You got anything besides what you brought up from the chamber? Cool. All right, we'll jump into board reports and I will start. Lynn already brought up one of my list items, which was, he had mentioned before. So we'll chat about that and get back to you. We also have, if we do that, it would have to be through a personnel policy update. We have tried to keep the personnel policy in lockstep with the union contract just for sort of simplicity, honestly. And arguably fairness, but that's not explicitly required. So we would need to vote on a policy change to do that. I did not think it was something we would rush and do the day you guys hear about it, because it's something that I wanted everyone to have time to think about. To that end, if we are doing that next month, Mr. Uhas this morning.
I was gonna say, did we ever fix
No, we
that
didn't.
one?
So I think we have the language we need. I really, I believe last time we talked, everyone was in agreement that it didn't make sense to do something that was only targeted to him, because I don't think that's in the spirit of how we're supposed to do things. So I had suggested, and I believe we have it written up, but I don't know if we have the final draft from the attorney of the language saying essentially 20 years full-time or 40 years part-time would be sufficient for a medical stipend for life. So it's not pegged to whatever his insurance happens to be. It's a fixed amount. I think we set it on 800. And part of the argument that he made, and I think was reasonable, was, we very quickly went from paying him 15 or 20 grand a year for years, to spending considerably more money than that replacing him. And he had not asked for or gotten a raise in like the last 50% of his 43-year tenure with us. And it put up a lot of numbers for the village through his actual work as well. So that's something that I want to get a final vote on next month. We don't need to decide at the moment. If you have any questions, you want to talk to me or to Jim or to Belinda or Peg or whoever,
We're gonna send that to us and I don't.
I will get you that language. But I am committing now to at least making a motion myself to vote on it. If everyone else obviously doesn't agree, that's fine, but I would like to at least get it on the agenda for July so we can get it resolved one way or the other. Then I have, do we have a resignation letter from Ron? Peg? Okay, so
He verbally said it though. Do we need a letter?
I
Yeah.
just asked him on email, effectively when he's gonna resign just for payroll purposes, and he said end of June, so I've just got that on email.
I got it. Okay. So for appointment, Peg, does that have to be done in a meeting or no?
It could be done, it has to be done in a meeting, yes,
Okay.
but it could be done at the July meeting.
And if we, so for the would the appointed member be able to participate in that meeting if we did it? Okay. So Dean, I guess I was planning on appointing you in this meeting and having you acting as a member next meeting, but we'll just appoint you right at the beginning. All right? Okay. And just so you guys are all up to speed on the appointment, Dean and Sarah were actually tied for the position. Dean stepped away from the village having to run a special tiebreaker election for the two of them. And in his request, in his letter doing that, he requested that if there was a vacancy, that he be strongly considered as the person to appoint. And I gave him my word that I would do that, partly because just from a democracy standpoint, he's the only person who has gotten any votes for the position besides the four of us and obviously Ron. So that takes care of two of my other items. And I guess that pushes the other two of appointing you deputy mayor and appointing you to the LDC to next meeting, because we can't do that with Ron still here. Well, no, actually, we can do that with, yeah. So Peg, what do you need a vote for moving Ron out of deputy mayor and putting Kelly in, or do we have to wait until he resigns? Okay, so I will then, I guess officially, you can tell Ron you took his job and
And can't wait.
appoint Kelly as my deputy mayor. And
Not till July 1, right?
it's up to you.
Okay.
He's off if you want it now,
Either
in
way.
case I get shot or something. And
Very dramatic.
the seconds is the place to be these.
Apparently, yes.
All right, and then because we have our LDC meeting, I guess I'll do the same. So we'll knock him off the LDC, put you on, even though he hasn't officially resigned yet, because the yearly meeting is towards the end of June. The LDC.
Yeah.
And we.
Everything he was doing too was John.
That's true. Well, you have to, well, you don't have to, but it's easiest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll
Committee.
take John and the
Okay. All right, we'll talk about rec if that's how.
in here. I'm getting a hot flash. Sorry.
Sarah.
Yeah, so we can do Sarah or Dean for rec committee if one of us makes more sense. So the other.
I would turn the air on, but it's very loud. Very loud.
Inside and at least for the last few minutes, there's been no screaming kids.
Thank you. I was melting.
Right. I also need to appoint, and I think this one does need or could have a vote. I don't recall, but the Carolyn Baker as our deputy clerk effective July 1. All right, so I will make a motion to appoint Carolyn Baker, our deputy clerk, effective July 1.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the last thing I have is our July meeting. It looks like we have a maybe and a definitely away.
I'm definitely away. So is he.
All right, so do we want to just push it a week to July 15th?
That would be great.
Any problems with that, guys? Is there like a Thursday in between that would work, or do you want to just?
Dean, will you be here the 17th if we move the meet? Sorry, I'm in June.
July 15th?
Okay. So then that would give us enough.
We still
people.
have 4, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Would you guys rather try and do it the Thursday, like the 10th?
I'm not going to be back.
You won't, okay.
I'm going to.
So we'll just do it, and if you can call in, great, and if you can't, no big deal.
So 15th or the 17th?
15th. Tuesday, the 15th, yeah. All right, and that's my last bullet. If anyone has any questions for me, let me know. Otherwise, we will skip over Ron and move on to Kelly.
I don't have that much, just fire reports. The boat is in the water and operational and going on call, so that's been a long time coming. 4 fire calls, 2 MVAs, 20 EMS calls. They were didn't make 6 of them, so the ratio is still pretty good. And they did have 2 boat calls, one of which was the day of our parade where the kayaker fell off the kayak without a life jacket. The last time I talked to you, I was looking for prices for the roof on the small little fire department there. We're having a hard time getting people that actually want to work and put a roof on, so we don't have prices right now. Once we get them and I have 3 quotes, I'll bring it back to
Did
the
you
board.
call AJ, who did our
We
roof?
called a bunch of people and nobody will get back to Mark. Mark's doing it, Mark Jessman, and he
Okay.
can't get anybody
let me
to get
call
back to
AJ.
him.
AJ, tiny.
Somebody didn't want to do architectural and then we said, well, we could try something else that looks like it. And I don't know, he got to run around. So he's working on trying to get prices. So that was the only thing.
So if
I had.
AJ's interested, I'll put him in touch with.
Yeah, we just need somebody to give us a price. It's a small enough building. We're going to worry about the roof first. We'll do the door after. But that was all I had.
It's in the historical overlay district, right? Or-
It is, but we own the no. Yes, we own the building, right? Yeah.
An easement on historical society land and a village-owned building.
Right, so we're trying to get it so that it still
Yeah.
looks the way it's supposed to look, and obviously we're gonna
Well,
run some ideas of whatever they give us.
So we were talking about, like, it has cedar shakes on it now. I believe there are metal stamped to look like
Yeah.
cedar. The problem with the building is it never gets any sun. It's under a tree. So the cedar, just like a cedar on a roof where it gets dried between every rain, is one thing. Cedar that just sits in.
And I think when Mark first asked, he was asking for cedar and nobody wanted to work with that.
Yeah.
So that was part of the problem. So then when I told him that we didn't necessarily have to use that, he was gonna go back to the contractors and
Yeah.
try to get something
Do
else.
we have, on the pre-approved list for this district, is the facsimile stamped cedar shake metal shingle on that list? Okay.
What's it
Is
called?
that the actual, that word salad is not the name. What is it called?
Anyway, I think we've used a metal.
Is it just like metal cedar shake? Is that what we would? call it?
Can't remember the name.
Cedar shake.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, if you think of it, text me and I will reach out to them and see who did their roof too.
Okay,
They'll give us.
Yeah.
And AJ is the one who did this one, and he'll at least give us an answer or tell us.
we just need, we need
It's too-
prices
it's
so
too
that we
small for
can,
him or whatever.
yeah. Okay,
Cool.
that's all I have.
Any questions for Kelly? All right, Craig, you're up.
Just, reminder that, you're gonna talk to Beth about, helping with the recycling.
Yes,
Facility.
we did talk about it. I don't know what came from their meeting. Because I talked to her the next day and then, Courtney's not here today, so I'll have to follow up and see what they want to do. I think they just want the funding, which is easy for us too, because then we don't have to manage it.
Right.
Right.
Do we have a budget in mind, guys?
Well, it's open 2 days a week right now and
Part days of.
partial
Not even a
days.
full day. What are we hoping to do? Get a full Saturday and maybe another day during the week?
I would think at least a full Saturday.
Yeah, I
As a
don't, they
minimum.
close very early on a Saturday. It's very hard to get there before they close.
Okay.
So I would say at least a full day Saturday to whatever full day that is for them. They open at 7 though, so I don't know how much traffic they get at 7.
I think like 7 to 4 or 7 to.
Yeah, because right
Yeah.
now it's like 11:30.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, but if we can get a full day on Saturday and maybe one other, you know what? I don't know, nobody probably want, but like an evening hour during the summer.
Yeah.
You know, people that work don't get a chance to run to the
Yeah,
dump.
and the lighting issue is not an issue in Sunsets at 8:30.
Correct. So even if they opened from like,
6 to 8.
or even 4 to 7,
Yeah.
you know, something to give
So
some
let's
people.
call it
Say like 10 hours.
10 hours a week.
Yeah.
What's the helper rate for them? It's probably the same as ours, like.
I'm
18.
sure it's
So
whatever minimum wage
180
is.
a week. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I'll bring it up again and make sure I get an
It's like
answer.
1,000 a month, a little less, but
Yeah.
something like that.
at least for the summer, and then we can revisit it in the fall and see how well it,
Right. Yeah.
like, did it get used? Did it not get used?
Yeah, I think 10 hours for the summer, and then if we want to downscale it once the seasonal residents are not around and people aren't moving as much,
Yeah,
that we can. But-
Yeah.
All right, I'll follow up. Anything else? Nope. Any questions for Greg? All right, Sarah? All right, correspondence, we had the Dank letter, it's I mean, the closest to even I've seen it, it's like 9 and 8.5 million. No, nothing of note on that. I didn't have any other correspondence. Peg, did you have any? Okay. We had no open old business. Do we have any new business? I didn't have anything, guys. The only, if we want to dig in and discuss the event, if you have any questions while Mike's here, but.
no, I would love to see Oktoberfest come back. It's been a while since we've had it.
Yeah, I think having it at the end of September is a much better weather hedge than the end of October too.
Yeah,
We kept that in mind.
'Cause even if it is cold for late September, that's still a lot more manageable than like late October, you get snow.
Correct. And at that time of the year, there's further right to go. We're competing with other towns as well.
Yeah.
is your thinking with Oktoberfest, are you gonna be, just because I'm being nosy, to see, mirror like our old Oktoberfest where they had breweries come and you paid an entry fee? I know you said it's family friendly.
The chamber is putting it on. However, we're not limiting it to chamber only. We want, that said, we do want local Sackets Harbor food and beverages involved.
Mhm.
We've got a brewery on Main Street covered. That's covered. And our idea for the food options for, and we have an engagement plan with each one of the businesses on Main Street, each one of the businesses within Sackets Harbor, even if they're not right here on Main Street, they're still going to be reached out to. Schnitzel, sausage and peppers, pretzels, etc. So obviously pretzels, we're going to go to Chrissy Beans. Sausages, we might go to Tin Pan, etc. And we'll ask the sandwich shop to get schnitzels together at the point. Those details have yet to be made out. However, we're pretty confident that the food and beverage footprint that we already have, either in the chamber on Main Street or in Greater Sackets Harbor, we won't have to reach out to anybody.
I could, you need to correct his pronunciation. I just saw her smiling about.
Which one?
Don't forget the sauerkraut.
Oh, you're going to develop the menu, trust me.
Awesome.
Any other questions?
No, I think I'll open up one more public comment before we wrap it up. And if anyone has anything.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I live over on Sunnyside, and I know that there's development that's going up. So I wanted to see if by any chance, would you guys be able to give us some information? I know a lot of us have been asking in regards to how many houses are going up, what
Yeah.
exactly is the plan, so that way we're aware who live on the street.
Sure.
What is gonna be the change that we should expect?
I will try to verbally describe it, but if you leave, either email the office or leave your email, I can send you the actual like development drawing. I don't have it handy, so I will have to get a copy from the developer, but Harbor Haven was approved a long time ago. I think it was 2012 when it was first put through. And there is if you look on jeffcountymaps.com and zoom into Sunnyside, you'll see like wherever you can't click, it's connected to the streets, and you'll see what's called a paper street. So it's a street on the county's records, but there's no pavement there. And you'll see the road going out into nowhere. And there's actually it's like the last house away from here, close to Dodge, where it's like kind of, the road kind of kicks in. So that's part of it. And the road goes in and turns and comes back to Sunnyside. And the center of that is a village-owned lot that you'll see on the map. And that's going to be a green space, kind of like Peanut Park, which is there to take runoff and then drain so that it's only wet for a day after a major rain event, or like 2 days after a huge flood, but generally is a lawn. And then around the perimeter, there are 3 stages. The first is 6 homes. They're all around 12 to 1,300 square feet. They're all the same format. And they're basically billed as sort of starter homes for either a couple or a small family, maybe 1, 2 kids if they share a room sort of size property. The first phase, what they're working on now is just 6 along the side. And then they'll do the back and the right side for the other, I think it's 3, and I forget the exact layout of how, which numbers on which side. But the total of the project is 12. Yeah. And yeah, I'll send you the drawings that they've put up. It's all public information. It's just that we don't have a great place to like post these giant PDFs because they're huge files, but I can email you, or if it won't go through the email, I'll just post it on like our shared drive and then give you access to the PDF that way. Sometimes they're very like, they're on printed out form. They're like 11 by 17 and they're many, many pages. So your browser might crash trying to view it in Google, like in Chrome. You may have to download it to your laptop and wait a while and then view it from there.
There was something that that I saw when I was trying to figure out what was going up. And I don't know if this is, that's why I came here. To
Yeah.
get the correct information and just make sure that we like understand as well. Because we saw something where the entrance was on a different road. I don't remember if it was on Monroe or East Main, but it also looked like it was approved back in 2002. So we were like that. I don't.
It's not, no, it's not a case. So the only traffic access will be, it's basically, I don't know what it's called. It's not a cul-de-sac, but it's like a horseshoe road. So it begins and ends on Funny Side. And there's no through access at all.
Okay.
But there will, like, it may, when you look at the map, you may see it kind of has a stub and then it turns around. That's going to connect possibly to the trail, but we haven't really figured out exactly how that would look yet. But they have agreed to give us an easement for that if we want it.
Okay. Will that affect the trail that's back there and stuff?
No.
Or no?
No, it would just be instead of like basically where the gravel now turns into grass, it would just be a road for another, 100 feet, and then the trail goes from there. So it doesn't change the access.
And then one more question. So there is a couple people who were bringing up rumors in regards to the village supporting developers with the infrastructure by using taxpayers' money. Is that correct?
No, the only thing we've done is something we did with the development in, what is it called? Is it Lakeview? The Lawlers?
No, I think she might be talking about the LDC plot. Are you talking about the LDC land out on Ambrose, or are you talking?
So the individuals who were bringing this up, they didn't know.
Okay.
And I'm one of those individuals
Yeah.
who I'm gonna come ask.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I just want to clarify that I know which.
Yeah, so
she's talking
we are supporting the developer in that we are allowing them to use the village's state access to materials to buy at a negotiated rate or any material that is going to be turned over to the village. So the sewer main, they put it in and then it becomes village property. We have done this in the past with the developer, and actually just before this meeting, they sent me the material list and I looked at it and I don't know well enough. I'm not a developer. So I messaged Mike and I said, hey, don't forget, this can't be for the service lateral that's going to be the homeowners. You've got to, if it's all one bill of materials, you have to separate it because we can only legally do that for items that will eventually become the village's property anyway. That's something we cleared with our attorneys back when Lawler was trying to downsize a storm drain that our engineers had spec'd at like 18 inches and they were like, oh, we want to do it 12 because we don't want to dig into the bedrock. And it turned out they were just trying to save money. And I said, look, we don't want to have it too small so that when there's a big storm, it floods. The storm drain needs to be sized at 18. However, I looked into like how we could help them to make the project viable and confirmed with our legal team that we are allowed to do that, but only for materials that they are buying. And the way we hedge the village's risk is we don't pay that material bill until we have a check from the developer, and then we cash the check and pay them with that money. So there at no point in time is there a risk that to the village taxpayer that we could be left holding the bill. because we never front that money. And so that is the one way we're supporting the developer, but it's not in a way that costs any money. It just helps them build affordable housing in the village to support, our local businesses, the school district, and provide more homes for people.
By the affordable housing, you're talking about like single family.
Not capital affordable housing, TM, like government supported, but a house that I think we don't have a lot of here that are for sale, and there are a lot of people who would be happy to buy or rent a small home. But it's not like the capital A affordable, capital H housing.
Just one there.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not government supported housing or anything. It's for profit. The developer plans on possibly selling some and renting some out and then funding the remainder of the project, the second half, with some of those funds.
That's for the land that's over by the water, not for the land that's.
No, the original, when we first did our legal review of this practice, that was for by the water. We're doing it again for Mike Yankovic, who is the developer doing the Harbor Haven as well. So we're helping them get like some of their materials cheaper, but in a way that doesn't risk public funds.
So then will that also occur for the land that's behind Sunnyside?
If someone ever wanted to develop it, it's my position that it's open, but it is a board decision every time. So if that happens 10 years from now, it could be, you could be sitting up here and say, no, you don't like that idea, but I will try to be consistent. If as long as I'm on the board, I will recommend that we support that the same way.
And last question, sorry, I know I'm asking a lot of questions, I apologize, everyone. But do you know when the construction is going to start on that road?
They've already started. They're using fill, but it's, they're, yeah.
Yeah, that's all
I don't have a good timeline for like each of the stages, but they may, when I ask them for the PDF for you, I can ask if they have a timeline to send as well.
Okay, because I just wanted to see if that would shut that road down because of everything that they're going to have.
I don't think there's any plan. I mean, there may be a day when we have to shut it down for an hour to bring a big truckload of something in, but there's no plan to shut the road. Yeah.
So now I have a question because you mentioned that it's an old permit. So if it's like a 15, 20-year-old permit, are the regulations still the same?
So they went through the process with the planning board first, and we confirmed that it did not require re-review before they started again. And that was part of their diligence on the project. Yeah.
I'd just like to clarify, it's this current one did not go. The original one did,
Correct. Yeah.
but I felt like maybe your answer made it there.
Okay. Yeah, no,
It never did come.
sorry, they met with you and Dave and discussed whether or not it needed to go through planning board review, and the answer was no. Yeah, sorry. Yep. All right. All good?
Good.
All right. Anything else from you guys before we adjourn? I don't even know how to get out of here without Ron to
No,
make the motion.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
No, I'll just play Ron.
Wow.
Yes, all right.
How was the change?
Yeah, he just sent me the list and I'm like, I don't know if this is
I would.
all the material. I'd like if a pipe or two that gets used in the wrong place because it's extra, I don't care, but I don't want them buying all of their material for the house.
Right.
Foundation and then
Yeah.
looking like we're giving handouts to a for-profit. So.
Well,